All right, peoples, back at you with Roundhill and their new weekly payers. I was kind of shocked. I mean, I know they launched, but I sort of wasn't ready for them coming out on a Friday and then paying next week. So they're going to be first week payers and end of month declares, almost like Bitto. Um, so there were five. Let's jump into them. NVIDIA, all the ones you'd want to do. The only one that they're not doing right now is MSTR. Otherwise, well, and Apple's kind of boring. It's actually doing pretty well. You look and it went down the least by far. Um, and its distribution yield isn't that bad for the IV. It's the only one that it's really at its IV. Hang on a second here. I gotta fix something while I'm talking to you guys. This one is 0.673. All right. That's what I was looking to do. Peoples. Okay. So NVW underlying is NVIDIA. Declare 28 so you can buy today and get paid. X date is Monday. Pay date is Tuesday. So interesting here. Just what day of the week they're paying, and it's week one. Pay her on a Tuesday. Maybe that day changes. I'm not sure how they've got that, but it should be a week one pair. So 4670 yield on cost. Okay. And remember, we're talking about the price at yesterday, right? On 27 closing price because it's early morning and the markets are about an hour and a half away from opening. Look at the change. All of these things, Pltw, Coin, Tesla, everybody is down. Look at the weekly change. So $8, right? And that's just on these kind of prices, right? I mean, the worst one, I didn't even figure their percentages. Probably the worst for $44, yeah, down 12.79 on PLTY. Well, PLTY, if you're in Yield Max, it's different here. So they're underlying because the underlying got hit. All right, so 4171 down from 49.89. So I bought a little more of PLTY at 65. I think it went on down to 63 or 62. I thought the low was 63, but then I think in the aftermarket it was 62. For me personally, I'm okay because I'm in that for the long term. On, I mean, I don't even worry about PLTR stock, but on these income guys, they can erode because when you pay 5.94, you're going to go down $5.94 at open, and they already went through that yesterday. Um, so anyway, kind of surprising. 41.71 down $8 on a 30-day IV yield of 57.90. They paid 37 cents. Your money paid here is in the green. And I'll do it like I do all my others. As I move them down with the weeks earlier, they'll go orange and the current one will be green. And we can do a lot more on collective yields and summaries. This is a first payment, guys. So 4670 yield on cost, 37.5 cents. Tesla is the big payer at 39 cents, a 54% yield, down $13. I mean, Pltw was down 12, but it was down from 44. This was down from 51, so percentage wise a little less. 54.23 on 67. I ought to do a percentage ratio to the IV. Look at this. Apple, go Apple. I said it at the top, everything launched February 19th, but it turns out that the Apple one launched February 20th. So one day less. But it's only down $2 from 6 days ago. Here, I went back and I took these from inception. So all these prices I wrote for price, kind of like last week, back on the 19th. Then I'll use the week that they declare the day before the declaration, right? Okay, so 26 and annualized yield is 26 if you want to look at it that way. Coin, Coiw, 43 with a 67. Eh, look at Palantir. They probably just didn't play this. I mean, they only had 6 days. So it's crashing. Sometimes there's not a lot you can do. I'll have to look at the strategy a little bit more. Obviously, they're doing dailies to try and collect money. But when it's dropping like that, I'm not sure what all exactly they're doing. I'll read up on that. And then what I'm going to do shortly, guys, this is exciting because Yilmax has owned this game, the single stock tech guys paying monthly, put them in groups so they're weekly. Now you come out and you get challenged by Roundhill, who's the leader in the index funds paying weekly. Okay. That's their claim to fame, paying weekly, handling it, doing zero DTE option. So here these guys are playing different strategies and they're paying weekly. So this will be fascinating to watch, get in my database and just look at who's doing the better job. I think at the end of the day, most people are 5, 10, 15% of some others. Sometimes there's a bad apple or a bad player in there that isn't executing. I mean, I saw Yalemex go through that where their guys just weren't paying attention. You know, they'd have 85% of a call they wrote captured. And on the fourth day, just take it off the table at 89%. Don't risk losing it. And guess what? That Friday, they buy it back. Oh, okay, they lost, 10% on something they had an 85% gain at the end of 3 days. It's just no excuse for that. That's just poor. It wasn't every day and it wasn't all the time. But you know what? If I hadn't been doing the daily reporting and pulling everything down and tracking, I wouldn't have believed what I saw though. So anyway, guys, that's what I got for you. Uh, Let me check my notes to see. So I'm going to get these into my database over the weekend. This was a pleasant surprise in seeing this. I think Roundhill will do a good job. I mean, if you look at some of this, Tesla's paid like $1, even Granite with their yield boost. Guys, I'm excited for Granite's got a QQQ and an SPY, I think. Other brand new launches. I'll do something on the weekend on that. What they're doing in their yield boost, just FYI for you guys, especially on their Tesla one, they're going out and they already have, or they're using somebody else's like TSLL from Drexion, then they're using them to write puts or calls or whatever their option strategy is. So they're using leverage on leverage. And anybody knows Granite, they started in Europe. They had a 5x micro strategy with 5 times the leverage. Can you imagine that? So Granite knows leverage. The CEO is from Europe, living in New York, I think now, at least when I interviewed Will Rind, he was in New York, so I think he stays in New York. I'm not sure what he even calls home, but he's a pretty international guy. Um, so anyway, I expect good things out of Yield Boost. They were very slow to get out. I remember doing a video 6 months ago, but it is coming to fruition on some of them. I think you'll see a lot more stuff there. I'm excited for some of the gold stuff to come out as well. All right, guys, Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Have a great one. Talk to you later. Bye for now.